and welcome back to the Kickin podcast prelim final edition. My name is Hayley Miller, and with me each and every week is my colourful co-host Emma O'Driscoll, and Mem Strom is even here for the second week in a row, which is just a miracle really, based on her podcast performances this year. But welcome to you both.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Wow. Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at her go.
We shouldn't have even introduced her. People wouldn't have even known because she doesn't have an important role in this podcast. That's why she hasn't been here for 6 weeks.
I'd just like to say I was here before Driscoll.
You cry, right? Driscoll was late again. Why were you late?
I had an eyebrow appointment, guys, and I think that's very important.
They look beautiful.
Thanks. They do look quite nice. Medium brown, I always get. Thought that was quite important, just like that hair appointment that time as well. Yeah. But also, might I just add, we can't go through the club at the moment because the boys are there. So it was an extra little obstacle that I had to overcome today. But I think I did it well.
But our guest, which you keep looking at like she can talk right now, we haven't introduced her yet. But we've discussed that it's the same distance going through the club versus going around. But anyway,
I'm going to count my steps next time.
All right. Now, before we get into the intro of our guest, let's appreciate the fact that Rove McManus commented on Instagram last night. So he actually does listen.
I know, and I got butterflies. Not that I'm in love with Rove McManus or anything, because I didn't know who you were. No, I'm joking. I always knew who he was.
And
remember,
what did he say?
The name
I know who Emma O'Driscoll is.
Yeah, good one, Rove. Pull the piss even more, mate.
And anyway, I've got a date at City Beach with Rove McManus at some point. But also no one's replied to him because I don't know what to say
either. So I thought, let's just address it on the potty and then maybe I'll think of something to do.
Well, currently we're playing it really cool and leaving him on red. So sorry, Rove, we're just trying to figure out what's the best way to attack this.
Do you think now that we're on name basis, do you think he's the most famous person you know besides Gemma Horton?
Gemma Houghton. Doesn't even her name.
Horton here's a who.
Horton here's a who.
Sorry. Houghton.
Look, Gemma's
obviously
Gemma's
pretty. That was
she's pretty. She's pretty famous. The
most famous person besides obviously even the footballers.
The fact that you didn't even know who he was.
Well, I follow him on Instagram now.
Oh, so do I. Has he followed you back yet?
I hope so.
I don't know if
I'm not even going to check, so I'll get upset.
Yeah. Anyway, Rove, we've both followed you now, so
yes, he's in Exmouth at the moment.
Oh wow,
that's how close I'm following.
Mim. Do you know him then?
Mim, yeah,
he's in Exmouth.
Might be on your dad's boat.
Maybe. No, I didn't even get a mention, so I won't be showing him around Exmouth.
Can't get a mention when you only rock up 2 times a year.
You're never here. So look, Rove, we support that. We support that movement.
What a ledge.
All right, I've been particularly keen for this week's guest because I asked her at least a year ago if she'd come on the podcast, and I've been rejected many, many times.
I was rejected by her too.
Yeah, so it was almost as hard to get her on the podcast as it was for Turbo.
Yeah,
I had to almost force Turbo to come on this podcast, but I did promise to not make too much of fun of her accent. But might I say that you can tell that you're from Ireland in your text messages. Yeah.
Turkey tree. That's the only thing I can say. I've been practicing all day to try and get on here and say turkey tree, but also they all sound different from different parts. But
it's Anya Tighe, and we might need subtitles for this podcast, but there should be some good crack. Is that how you say it?
Yes. In correct context.
See, I've been practicing that all day.
Good
just
what?
To get that crack.
Good crack. Mem knows all about the crack.
I don't know what
there you
the
go.
crack.
It's spelled CRAIC.
Yep.
And it means
it just means like good fun.
Good fun.
We'll have a laugh.
Yeah.
Well, can we not pronounce it as crack?
Well, that's what it is.
That's the word. That's how we
the
use
word.
Why don't we?
Some good crack.
Well, I don't know if I can ever use that.
It's okay. Mim uses it wrong all the time. She's always asking.
That's why I was writing this. I was like, I've got to say it in the right context as well, and I've nailed it. Thank you very much.
Well done.
How are you feeling about being on the podcast, Anya?
Yeah, no, just delighted to be finally asked. To get me on here.
Here she goes, chirp already.
And she doesn't want us to make fun of her.
It'll be all good.
It'll be all good.
I'm ready.
Okay, just a fist away from the microphone, Anya.
Just keep close to the
just
microphone.
A bit close,
we don't want to miss anything you say.
No, we don't.
You're going to have to translate it anyway.
You're quite right. The first time I met or learnt of Anya through our WhatsApp group. It took me so long to like get out of my head that it was Aine. It wasn't Aine.
Aine.
Like Aine. How is that Anya?
Aine.
Yeah. Aine.
I remember.
Oh, we've got this new player called Aine.
Just like when we had Tane come on and I was just like, Tane, our Dr. Tane.
Oh, we've got Tane and Aine.
Tane and Aine. What a combination.
But now you said you weren't going to take the piss.
No,
Sorry,
but
no.
anyway.
We're explaining to people, like, even, I guess, Anya's actually a lot easier to pronounce now than when you see Neve with an M and a H and stuff in it. I'm like, Niam. Nim.
We're going to get
My
into
sister
that.
got that for 4 years, yeah. She was teaching in Abu Dhabi, Miss Niam.
See, but in, like,
Yeah.
obviously in Ireland, that's, like, they know that to pronounce it as Neve. But then here, we're like, I don't know if I should say it or not. Or
But I feel like unless you've got like a friend or someone you know that it's like, otherwise I'd have no idea. If Anya's name popped up somewhere, Aine.
And now
Aine
let's
it is.
just write it as Onyya. Anya.
Anya. See,
Anya.
that's a very
It's more
Australian
Aussie
way.
than she thinks.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what I get in my
actually-
coffee every morning, yeah.
It's
Do you
actually the
actually?
most
Yeah, legit.
Australian name ever.
Yep.
Apart from the way that you spell it.
Yeah.
Anya.
Anya.
How good.
I do think you need to start making up a coffee name though, maybe.
Yeah, but then I forget whatever coffee name I've ordered.
Oh,
so.
that's
Do people
I
go
just- I
look
just-
at you funny and they're like,
Yeah,
Anya.
always takes a second
No.
take. So they'll always ask my name. I'll always repeat it. And then sometimes they'll ask how to spell it. And I'm always like, don't worry about it. Just write it however you feel.
Wait,
And then it gets Onyya.
O-N-Y-A.
But I feel like the way she talks, people would understand and be like, oh, she's Irish.
Irish,
like,
so, you know.
we'll let her off.
Well,
if I walked up
weird
there and go,
names.
hey, my name's Anya, they'd be like, this freak. Aussie.
Oh, well, before we learn all about Anya, let's review the epic elimination final win against North Melbourne. Talk us through, actually, Anya, you can talk us through because you were there.
I was
The pre-game lead up. In particular, I want to know about the concert we held the night before.
Yeah. Pewee said best concert she's attended in 2020, whatever year we're in, 2022. It was epic. Yeah.
It was
Interesting.
it was
but-
big.
I guess to set the scene for everyone, Laura Pugh, as we know, has a karaoke set, $49 from Kmart if you want one yourself, that myself and her usually perform concerts with. But I guess everyone's had a turn now as Gemma and Pewee did host a karaoke night the night before the game, and I think it's going to become a tradition because we didn't get most people up there, but the likes of feature from Ange Stannett, Dana East, Dana North, South, West, East. Should I
good.
say?
She was best on ground.
She was
how
best, yeah.
good. You know what? And she's getting involved. You know it's a good concert.
Oh, I know.
You know
bless
it's a
her
good
heart.
concert. Now, speaking of just quickly going on to something else apart from the game, you were nominated, just while we're talking about the karaoke machine and Laura Pugh, you yourself, not Laura, just you, were nominated for the Fans Award of Best Social Media Account. How are you feeling?
I'm
You
absolutely.
knew found fame.
I'm absolutely honoured. This is probably going to be my number one accolade, if I'm honest. I think
if you win, are you
if
going to win?
if I win it, this will probably be number one for the
I'd-
trophies that I want to
Well, I voted for
keep.
you. Mim, did
I
you
voted
vote?
for you too.
Oh.
Oh, thanks,
Look,
guys.
see? Brett?
It's
Oh, Brett. Brett did not vote.
Brett always lets us down, so it's fine.
We're used to that.
But yeah, it's really good to know that I am better on social media than I'm at playing footy.
Well, you stick to your strengths. It's fine. Well,
Know
how
your
does
strength,
Laura
play your
Pugh
strengths.
feel about this? Because I feel like she was part of most of it.
I do think Pewee. Oh, and you know what? No, Pewee's a very supportive teammate. I think she was totally happy with me taking the glory, but as long as she gets a tag, I think we can. Oh, you know what? She can get half my prize actually for
What's
the
the
concerts we
prize?
do. I don't know yet.
I don't know.
When I
yet.
do-
Hopefully you get something good.
Hopefully, I get something nice.
Hopefully you win.
I was
Hopefully I
disappointed
win.
the podcast didn't get a mention.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
socials.
that was very surprising. Thinking that's another aspect of my multifaceted human being that I am. So, wondering why they didn't put it in there. It's pretty important. Might actually go and message AFLW about that.
Yeah, I think you should. Anyway, back to the game. What was your general feel of the group pre-game, during the game, after the game in general?
It was epic, wasn't it, for everyone?
was so
Oh
good.
my gosh! Like,
Felt good.
I just did not feel like there was any way we could have lost that game.
That was good.
That wasn't even going into the game. Obviously, I was really nervous. Could have yacked about 4 times, but lucky Dr. Tane was there with the old on Danzatron to pump in me to get me through.
Just so everyone knows, that's just an anti-nausea tablet.
anyways.
I'm just going to take that pen away from you. Could you?
Sorry, I don't know why. I'm a bit jitterish.
You keep tapping it after every single thing you say. The poor people listening are just going to get this tap in their ears every
Sorry,
time.
guys. But yes, on Danzatron is just an anti-nausea. I was very unwell before the game. But
I did ask you. I was like, "How are you feeling?" You're like, "Oh, I feel really sick."
Yeah, I was
I've had a Danzatron, just so you know how sick. I was like, "Oh yeah, you'll be fine."
So you know,
You'll be right.
I'm really crook.
I'm really not feeling well. Okay, you'll be fine.
No,
We'll
but
be
I
fine.
actually, as soon as the game started, as you know, nerves do go away.
It's all good.
And it was just pure excitement the whole time. I think the third quarter is definitely my favourite.
Yeah,
Highlight for sure.
highlight for me was Anya's incredible game awareness. You kicked 1 goal yourself.
You laid it off
Yeah, I
to
was
me.
just going to
Thanks
say,
for that.
courtesy of
Yeah.
yours truly. On the left, might
On
I
the
add,
left, kick to
kick to grass. Like the
What more could I ask for?
the coaches could not ask for anything more.
No,
To grass. How many times they asked us to kick to grass this year?
and did it.
Anyway, did it mean to go there? I don't know.
Oh, look,
We'll
that's
go
where
with
I was
that.
running, so I'll take
Yeah.
it.
And the girl she just slipped over right at the right. She made it real
Yeah.
easy for you.
Yes.
And around the corner kick too is your favourite.
Isn't that just that the classic Irish?
Yep.
Good old snap.
Don't make me put it straight on. I'll just kick
Kick
around the corner.
around the corner. But the ones I'm talking about is the centering kick to Roxy, and then the other one to Webby as well. Most players would just blaze away and probably miss. Not saying you would have missed if you'd gone for goal, but they were hard kicks. But you just squared it up, easy shots on goal. Amazing.
Yeah. Hit the centre. Give it to the person in the best
That-
position. I don't want
Yeah.
to take a shot.
Look at you go.
It's a
Look at
great club person.
What a champion. What a champion right there.
I did say as well, though, I loved the fact that Anya sometimes wasn't being fed the ball exactly where she'd like it. Like, I guess just having a straight run at it to take the amazing marks we know she can. But she still just managed to get some limb to it.
I was going to say, the other one that you did, you tapped it over the back.
Yeah.
Then I could get it cleanly, hand it
Yeah.
to Juddy,
Yes.
and then Juddy hit up Gemma.
So I think just that contest work was obviously such a back thing to say. But
From my time down there.
So-
Yeah,
I
just-
learned the best.
yeah,
All about
exactly.
the limbs.
You learned
Exactly. So I think just bringing it to ground, as we know, and not letting them take uncontested marks was definitely beneficial on the day.
that. Absolutely. And my other favourite thing in the whole entire game was right at the end when Mim was really tired and comes back like amazing contest, takes the mark or gets high or whatever, got a free kick but was on all hands and knees. Caitlin Ashmore from North Melbourne just had a seat on your back.
Yeah, look, I was a bit tired. I was
You
running.
just let her.
I was
You just
running-
let her go.
I was running hard back, okay, to get in the spot. Got the free kick and just was a bit slow to get up because there was someone on my back.
actually
the
just,
point
like,
of the
sitting.
game, I was like, well, I'm not going to flip her off. I don't want to start a fight. We've already won it. But also, I was exhausted. And I was like, I need to relax. She needs a seat.
I think she was
It's
exhausted
fine.
too because she wasn't like getting up quickly at all. It was very so. If anyone wants to go rewatch the game,
Yeah, I hadn't even noticed
yeah,
that.
no,
bit. I'll
you
have to have
should
a look.
you should go and watch
Neither.
it. No,
Take
go
it
and
for a
watch
horsey
the last.
ride.
Go and watch the last literally 10 seconds. and
I
she's
know
just
the
sitting.
moment you're talking about, but I feel like I'd never paused it
Nah, it's
Yeah.
to see.
No, we paused it in the mid
Okay, we're
meeting
done.
last
We've
night,
definitely
couple
got the
of
screenshot
times.
of that coming up.
Covered in the meeting.
It was very, very good.
Gorgeous.
Anything else on the game that you'd like to cover off on?
Anya, take it away.
Oh, no, it was just really enjoyable. Everyone was up and about
was.
and, yeah, rooms after.
Yeah.
They were
Oh.
buzzing.
When everything just goes your way and it just feels good, doesn't it?
I should probably give a shout out to the fam for getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning. To
Oh,
watch it back home.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
they
you
were
made it
very
worth
excited.
it then.
Did make
They-
it worth it, yeah.
They
That
would be
is
mad at you.
incredible.
And
Bless
they do that
them.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've had a good run, to be fair. Most of the games have been 6 a.m. A couple of
Yeah,
8
no, that's
a.m.s.
not too bad.
So not too bad, but yeah.
Oh, they'd love an 8 a.m.
3 a.m.
Sleep in.
8 a.m.
Sleep
was
in and
great,
watch
yeah.
the game.
3:10, and then they were too buzzing by 5 to go back to sleep, so they were just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an early. That's an
Stop
early
it.
start.
That's
Good.
commitment. Well
That is-
done.
That is commitment. Well, let's touch on the boys' game real quickly. We don't like to talk about the boys on here because it's all about the girls. But Heath Chapman's amazing game-winning spoil, not to let the point go through at the end of the game. I just know, Driscoll, you would have loved this as a defender.
Oh, my God.
It's a defender's dream.
It was the best moment. And I think, everyone at that point in the game was on the edge of their seat. It was so exciting. And to let them, get out that quick kick away, I was thinking it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Like that sucks even more than a bloody loss, I reckon. And Chappie just get up there and somehow managed to get it forward. And I think JL said, I don't know whether it was luck or whether he actually meant to get it in front, but I think they managed to work it out so well. The ground ball, then the handball off. Oh, it was just incredible.
That's like a defender's equivalent of a goal after the siren to
Yeah,
win the game.
100%. And no wonder they made, all these reels and stuff about it. The song in the background that they're putting, I'm like, like when, who was running in for goal? They've used the song before. Was it Hilly?
The Titanic. Are you talking about whenever
Was
they
it
use
Hilly
the Titanic music?
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
It's something
Whenever they put,
obviously huge.
Titanic music on anything, anytime someone kicks a goal after the siren. Was it you, Brett?
No, and it was Hilly when he ran on from the interchange and just ran and kicked that goal. That's another great Titanic
bit
song.
of Celine Dion always goes good with the backing of a footy highlight. Amazing.
But no, I'm really glad the boys won.
Good, two good wins. All right, let's get into Anya's backstory. Now you have to talk about yourself. I know you love talking about yourself. So talk us through, obviously you grew up in Ireland. Where are you from? Talk us through your family, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I am from a very small country town, a little bit like Driscoll. County is called Leitrim. Mim loves saying Leitrim.
Leitrim.
There we go. Yeah, same. It's like it's the county that has the smallest population in Ireland, so we're always kind of the underdog up against it, and small little town in a small little county, and that's where I grew up.
Do you have brothers and sisters or anything?
I do. I have 2 sisters and 1 little brother. Yeah, nice. He's the baby of the family, so he's spoiled rotten.
You're a bit salty about that?
No,
you're not.
I'm the favourite either way. So it's fine.
Okay.
Where do you sit?
I'm second.
You're second.
What are their names? Don't tell me how to spell them. Just say their names.
So we've got a Sinead.
Is that
Sinead?
Sinead? Yeah. But that's how you spell it here, though, as well. Like Sinead.
Yeah. Then I'm next. Then Neve.
Niamh.
Yeah.
And then we got James.
Oh,
James.
Sorry.
And then we got James.
James
Why
is
is
the
none of
baby.
the girls' names are funny?
So James is named after Dad, who is Seamus, which is James in Irish.
Yeah.
And then his dad was
Seamus
James.
is
Seamus
a
is so
very Irish name.
That's very Irish.
No, that's cool.
All right. What about your Gaelic background? Obviously, you haven't played football your whole life, so tell us about, because I know you pretty much just play for your county, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about how that works.
So where you grow up, like you play for your club first of all, similar to I guess your Waffle W clubs. So wherever you grow up, like we started literally at 4 or 5. Mum and Dad were always involved in the club playing football. Sinead, my older sister, was involved. Like her cousins were playing. So everyone just jumps in and gets involved. So played at club level all the way up from 4 with the boys and the girls, up until about under 14, under 16, and then the girls had the pathway to go all the way through, which was obviously
awesome.
unreal and something that's obviously here now but wasn't for a long time. I started playing kind of senior or adult level when I was 12, 13, and then went on to play. So played at club level, played then at county level, which is I guess AFLW almost equivalent, and then went off to college and played there too. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. So your county, so
I
that's
get
like
a bit
playing
confused,
for Freo.
Yeah.
Because
But
I guess
it's
because we've
where
got a
you're
couple of
but
couple
then
of teams in.
How
WA.
many counties then play though?
So
Do you have different division? Like,
Do you know what I
different-
mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's 32 counties in Ireland, and
Okay.
it's divided then into 4 divisions. So
Sure.
Then how do you get the one winner, or you don't?
No, well, you get a winner in each division, don't you?
No, but then do you get the winner of all winners?
it's slightly different in the men's and the women's competition. So in the women's competition, you for the championship, there's actually only 3 divisions. So you have a junior winner, an intermediate winner, and a senior winner. So
Okay.
like the top one is your winner. In the men's side of it, all 32 go into the same competition. And
Oh,
you get
wow.
a winner.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, right. That's very interesting.
And then college. So that was when you were studying?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to get to that. Sorry, have I ruined it? No. So,
No, go.
Anya, tell us what you do. And then I want to kind of segue into college life. Then what sort of Gaelic were you playing at college? Were you playing for your college or were you still playing county?
Yeah, okay. We kind of played across both.
Okay.
So go back to what I do. I'm a phys ed teacher. So studied phys ed and maths down in UL, which was about just over 3 hours away from me at home. So it was a
Okay.
bit of a trek. Didn't know anyone.
So you had to
heading down there
relocate?
at all. Yeah. But was still playing inter-county with Leitrim at the time. So every weekend you'd be on the road back up for training and games. Week by week. But yeah, college level, I guess because I was playing Division 3, Division 4 with Leitrim, college was the first time I got the opportunity to play at like the highest level.
Wow.
Because with UL we were playing in Division 1 at university level. And yeah, it was some of the best players across some of the best teams in the country. So that's where I was really like, shit, this is deadly. Like, this is where I want to be.
Cool.
so good.
So
And you don't, like, with Gaelic, across even professionally, they don't get paid. Is that right?
no, it's completely amateur.
yeah.
Male, female.
That's ridiculous.
No one. Yeah. All Ireland final day
No.
is 82,000, sold out Crow Park. Boys will go back to work the next day.
How the hell is that? Why do people? I'm not going to say why they play. They love the game. That's absolutely
go.
fine. I love the game too. But when you're giving up that much time, and you got that many spectators, fans, everyone plays it. You got pathways. How are they not paying players?
I knew this would roll.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I knew this was gonna go too.
Okay, did you?
Sorry, but
I'm
like,
so good that
we-
you have never
like-
heard it before.
We
Go.
not even complain. I think
Yeah.
we have a valid argument here playing AFLW with the amount of money that we get paid. And obviously we don't want to compare to the men's program, but because we do have a long way to go. But in terms of even just trying to negotiate 12-month contracts at the moment, yet a huge sport, the only sport, main sport in Ireland, they don't pay you for.
Nah, you do it for the love of the game. Yeah.
Nah.
It's all the history and tradition of the sport. Like, I would, even if we had the chance or the opportunity to go professional, I would hate that. Like, that's the tradition of the game. You play for where you come from. You play for the traditions. You play because your dad or your granddad or whoever
Yeah,
else
of
is playing.
course.
Like,
But
have a
so
chat
then
with
they
Bob
obviously-
Murphy about it.
No, I
Bob
totally
was appalled when the Australians were asking about making it professional when he had it over on an Aussie Rose tour. He was like, I was so embarrassed. The boys were asking why they don't get paid. Yeah,
But so they obviously like train and everything, like after hours, because they're kind of like what we do.
It's exactly
what we do.
Yeah, right.
I love that that's what it's for. I wish that was like that here, but it's certainly not. There is
No.
no way that players would play here if they weren't getting paid.
No.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And so every single person works then.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about like sponsorships and stuff?
So some players would have individual sponsors that
Yeah.
they might get looked after with cars or like.
But it's not
Yeah,
necessarily
but it's not
money.
monetary.
It's
no,
actually
generally it's not monetary.
It's
Yeah.
just like
Some
grants
might
and
get
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some might get a few bob here and there, but
not.
No.
Who
all
makes the
afternoon.
money though? Like, sorry, but one more. Like, then if they're getting spectators and fans and all of that, surely Gaelic football is making money. Where does that money go then?
yeah. So it's filtered back down like through the clubs to the juvenile, the underage
Okay.
facilities, building field. Like, you won't drive more than 10, 15 minutes down the road anywhere at home without coming across a Gaelic field.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is
Are they really
wicked.
nice too?
The Gaelic fields.
Yeah.
Did you know about the weather in Ireland?
Well,
Yeah,
with
I
that
think
much money going
Yeah.
into it, they should have a curator for
Undercover Marvel Stadium.
every single
Eddie had.
every single one should be in a stadium.
No, they're not quite like
No.
that. Certainly not.
We might start a petition right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Who
if you-
thinks that every single Gaelic football field should be undercover?
They should all be
Say aye.
amazing. They should. With all that money, they should be fantastic. True.
No, sorry.
Are
you
the
can-
okay, what about the club rooms then?
Oh, they-
Are they good?
It
Look, no,
varies.
see?
It varies.
Moral of the story out of this though, they play for the love of the game.
Yeah.
We'll
keep that
Okay.
one in
Now,
mind.
shall we move
We
on
can
for
move,
real this
yeah.
time? Okay. Tell us about, obviously, you moved to Australia. How did that come about? I know Trent visited you,
I did.
and Kate, who also came over with you a couple of years ago. Talk us through that. How did it come about?
Yeah, so at the very beginning, initially I got a message on Instagram from Troy Selwood from Geelong to see would I be interested in like having a look at it or giving it a go at all. And I was...
So you hadn't played any football at this point?
It hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yep, cool.
Yeah.
Did you know AFL existed?
I knew it existed just because Cora had obviously been over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like
of course.
that was
Yeah.
obviously, pretty big deal back
Yeah,
home.
because she's a big deal, isn't she?
Yes.
She's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
big deal, I've heard.
Yeah.
Like the
She's-
biggest
she's
of
like
deals.
the best, yeah.
The biggest
Was
of
she the
deals.
best at Gaelic as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I mean. She's
Oh,
the biggest of deals
and that's why
over
when
there.
she moved, everyone was like,
Everyone knew.
"These
Yeah,
superstars
yeah, it was,
coming to
yeah.
play
There was like a
AFL."
documentary made out of it, and yeah, like people were obviously like the men have obviously been coming across for years, so
Sure.
you'd be very aware of like the men's games, but not necessarily obviously AFLW because it was so new.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, got a message on Instagram to see if it was something I would be interested in, and yeah, kind of had to think about it. I was like, I guess I've nothing to lose, so I'll throw my hat in the ring, and yeah, then Crosscoders is like an agency, I guess, that bring people or bring girls across
Yeah,
to
very
play.
cool.
So he said, right, just get in touch with them, send them on your name or whatever. So I did, and they have connections obviously with all, I think it's whatever 10 clubs maybe at that time. I don't know, however many were in the competition at that stage. So yeah, sent like little profiles across to all the clubs, and that's where obviously Trent and Darren came across me, and yeah, had a couple of Zooms and
Wow.
video calls.
How many like footy games had you played? Because I know you played a little bit in Ireland. They have like a little bit.
Before I came over,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Played a handful of like 7-a-side and 9-a-side games, but like not
much.
not full rules or not full fields or anything. And
Wow.
then we played one tournament. It was like a European Championships thing, but there was only 3 teams. There was only ourselves, England, and Germany, and because we obviously have the Gaelic background, which translates pretty well, we were much stronger kind of than the other
Yeah.
two. So that was the only time I had played a full. We played like 18-a-side full field
Yeah.
before I came across. Yeah.
How did you go about learning the rules then?
Not very well at
No.
the beginning.
That's
a lot of
very
rules.
interesting.
Even just like I forget that Gaelic isn't, it's contact, but not like our sort of like you can't tackle anyone and things
There's
like that. So
there's no marks in that, so it's just play on all
Yeah.
the time. That's why you
Continuous,
all
yeah.
play on
That's
all
why
the
you all
time.
play on,
to
yes,
start it.
it's
Now,
natural.
obviously everyone's gotten better with that. But when the Irish
Yeah.
players came through, their just natural thing is just get
Go.
the ball and go.
and also their
Well, you're very
sidestep
good
is
at
so fast. Like,
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah, well, you're like, what do you think it is with Gaelic and footy that translates so well? Because not just yourself, but like Cora obviously came in and made a massive impact when she first came. There's a bunch of other players. West Coast have got a couple.
Yeah.
Over East they've got heaps now. What is it that translates so well?
I think in terms of the standards, so the standards of inter-county football at home has been kind of increasing and is quite high. So the translation in terms of athletic ability, endurance, that sort of training side of it isn't there's
Yeah.
not a massive
Yeah.
gap. And then from the skills side of it, like catching and marking,
Yeah.
obviously the footy is a different shape, which takes a lot of getting used to. But like the flight of the ball, everything in the air is
Reading
quite
it,
similar.
yeah.
And we kick the ball a lot as well. So
Yeah.
actually having some experience kicking and catching, I think they're the two biggest things. So
Yeah. How long did it take you to learn to kick it straight?
I still can't.
Yes, you can.
As
I've seen it.
opposed to
As opposed, because obviously around the
Yeah.
corner.
Around the corner
Because I
is-
know when Cora first came, she would not kick it
yeah,
straight.
yeah,
no
And
drop
they
back.
had the rule they changed the rule every year, but the year after that year, the rule came in that you could no longer go off your line because then it was play on. So, which is fine in normal like times, but if you get a goal after the siren, she was
can't do
stuffed
it.
because she
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not that it ever happened, but it was more of like a what happens if this happens. Now they changed the
Yeah.
rules
Now it's
again.
ama-
Now
like,
they changed the rules again.
it
So
suits
it's fine.
every Irish woman here with
But
the
now the men seem to
stand.
do it a lot more
Yeah,
than
an awful
what
lot more.
yeah,
Coming
than what they're
around,
going to.
yeah.
See, they learnt something off the Irish.
Yeah, look, what can I say?
Yeah. No, I remember seeing you and Kate Flood practicing a lot of just
Yes.
kicking, just trying to kick
Yeah.
the thing straight.
And even just like I changed my ball drop about like 6
Oh.
or 7 different times because everyone was telling you a different way, and then you
Yeah.
do it for a
It's-
while, and it'd feel awkward, or you'd look back at it and you'd be like, oh my god, is that how I'm kicking the ball? Is
Yeah,
that how I'm
wow.
dropping it? So
Well, whatever you're doing now, you can kick the ball
Oh,
a
Anya, it's
ridiculously long
incredible.
way, probably longer than any
Definitely,
girl I know,
definitely.
which is quite amazing because I'm always like, oh, is that a little bit too far? And then it goes over my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I was in the wrong spot. I should know she can
I
kick
should know.
65 off one step. So obviously, so then you spoke to, so Trent came over,
He
spoke
did.
to you then.
Yep.
did he give you a jersey then? A jersey, jumper, whatever?
Yeah, so I'd actually signed probably a month, 5 weeks before he came over.
Yeah.
But I was still teaching and kind of playing and stuff. So I was happy enough not to have it like announced or stuff beforehand, and they were obviously happy enough with that too. So then they said they'd do it and release it when Coops came over. So he came over in May, to the camp. We played a couple of games, did some of the testing and stuff, and he presented myself and Floody with our first ever.
So you'd already been drafted, and but then because he used to be, he was like, I went over and watched them play and whatever. Oh, that's shit, Trent. You'd already bloody signed it.
He does admit to being nervous before seeing
so
me
you'd
for the
already,
first time.
he'd already signed
Wow.
you.
We
That's
need
awesome,
to get the footage up of Anya playing. It's
love this
actually
one, don't
insane.
you?
I froth it. So Anya's in the ruck. Do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call the middle?
Midfield.
Okay, it's a centre bounce down. It's a ruck. She's rucking, and against another girl, and she just goes up there, just grabs this ball down with her long arms, grabs it down, and just bloody takes off. She's ran straight inside 50, all the way to the goals. She's done a bounce. I don't even know if you can bounce it. She's kicked it off her foot back to herself.
You have to do.
That's
You
a
have
solo,
to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
You have
don't
to
know.
solo
Anyways, it's like a bounce.
it. Yeah.
She's literally
But cooler.
running like over 30 kilometres an hour, I would say. Like the fastest I've ever seen. Kicks it to herself, keeps running all the way into goals, bang, goal. It would have been, honestly, 15 seconds. We can put that on the podcast because it was only 15 seconds for Anya to get a goal out of the ruck. It was unbelievable.
I think I've seen that too. I think Trent definitely showed us all that.
That's the one thing Trent showed us to be like, see, I scattered
Okay, this
well,
is-
even
yeah.
though I
Yeah,
signed her
see.
before I went
Yeah.
and watched her.
So this is why we've signed her.
This is why.
Obviously something that you don't like. I know you don't like talking about it. We'll just skim over it a little bit. You were signed. You came over and you trained the absolute house down the whole pre-season. I remember being like, I can't tackle this girl.
I know.
I was like, she's tall, she's athletic, she can jump higher than me, she can pick up the ball better than me.
Yep.
And then she's also just runs straight through you, ridiculously strong,
Yep.
can't tackle her. And I was like, I cannot wait for her to play a game.
yeah.
And then obviously we played the, you played the
Eagles
practice
scratch
match
match. Oh.
against the Eagles. which
Again, she
half
did the
of us-
same thing.
Half of us weren't playing, and just to sit there and watch you
Watch.
take it out of the ruck and just rove
Bang.
your own ball.
See you
and,
later.
It was amazing.
It was.
And then unfortunately in the practice match against Adelaide, you did your knee for the second time. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd already done one prior to that. Was it the same knee, different one?
Same knee.
Same one, which obviously started an unfortunate series of events for the 2 years after that. Talk us through what that was like, obviously, because you're away from home and everything. What was that like?
Yeah, the first year was actually probably not too bad, like given, obviously, considering it's an ACL injury, so you know it's going to be a long road. But I had been down that road before, so I knew kind of what to expect. And like the rehab side of it went pretty well, pretty straightforward. Very few kind of niggles or setbacks. And obviously because everything was so new over here as well, was still watching you girls play, learning like so much from actually watching the games and then doing the reviews and previews and everything like that. And like that season was just one high after the next because kept winning games up until obviously.
Was that 2020?
That was 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have been like, this game's easy.
I was
Let's
like,
go.
yeah,
We haven't lost.
real. But then, and then obviously the whole COVID situation happened and that just, threw a complete spanner in the works. At that point, an awful lot of the Irish girls were just jumping on planes and going home. But gyms and kind of pretty much everything was shut down at home. Like I wouldn't have had access to gyms in terms of rehab. I wouldn't have had access to physios or like scans or doctors or anything like that. So I was like, I'll just wait it out over here. We'd obviously closed the borders, very few cases, so we were able to actually live relatively normally. Waited it out and then was lucky enough that first off season I did get home for a couple of months as well. Spent a bit of time at home. Couldn't play obviously because I was still rehabbing, but ended up jumping on a plane and coming back for take two.
And then what happened on take two?
Take two started off with
It
2
started
weeks
off-
hotel quarantine. It was great fun.
I honestly don't know how you did it.
Was kind of going all right, like ticking off the last couple of boxes in terms of getting back to return to play. But then tore the meniscus in my knee. and still kind of not entirely sure how that happened.
Yeah.
but-
Well, yeah, I was going to say you were flying at the time. Well, I was
Yeah,
like,
hotel
oh, look, she's
quarantine.
back.
Yeah.
You still had the non-contact bib on, but I was like, oh, she's almost back, and then you were
Get
gone.
ready.
Then you were gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
You never came back out again.
Nah. So yeah, that was probably the most challenging and frustrating part of the whole 2 years off,
Yeah.
because it was trying to get to the root of what's actually wrong. How can I like fix it or get better? You'd have a couple of weeks where things were going really, really well, and you'd be making progress, and then either it would swell up or like you'd start having pain in it again, and it was kind of like, oh, is this what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it ever going to get any better, or
Yeah.
are you going to get back to the stage where you can play again, you can do what you kind of normally want to do? So, fairness to Pete, the legend, Dr. Peter D'Alessandro, he took me in again, did a clear out in probably middle of last year. And yeah, finally kind of, got to the bottom of it, I guess, sorted
That's
it out.
awesome.
And
Very good.
yeah, touch wood, from there we've been
Yeah. How long's it been since you've been home?
about 18 months. Yeah.
It's a long time.
That is
yeah.
just.
But we appreciate you
You're
being here.
insane, Anya. Honestly,
So good to have
it
you
is
here.
bloody incredible sharing your story. It's inspiring, and I think what you do for the club in terms of not only your line of work, but also having that ACL story, I guess, to help others go through the rehab process is just awesome. So
But it's even better than to
Thanks
watch
for
what you're
staying.
doing. Yeah, thanks for staying. But then, like to see, because we always knew that you were going to come out and be like, you're a star. So you're always going to come back and play really well. How do you feel like this season's gone? Because I think like every game that you've played, you just get.
might I
better
just
and
add
better.
in just that we're talking about Anya's season, that she has played back this season, so I have seen quite a bit of her as my close teammate. But I just wanted to add that Anya actually just got put in the AFL women's
stat
stat team,
All-star stat
All-Star
team.
stat team, because she has not lost a 1v1 contest this entire season. She's at
I reckon they
zero.
must have lost the stats from the Melbourne game when they were
Oh,
taking
we don't
it
have to
into
bring that
account.
out. We'll cut that bit out, Brett. Jeez. Anyways, that is very impressive. I know she's 6'10", maybe 7 foot, but that is very impressive.
Well, especially because even if you don't mark it, you bring it to ground and then
Yeah.
just pick it back up.
Yeah.
So at 7 foot,
At-
it's pretty good.
Very.
that's pretty good.
But anyway, so back to you, Anya. You can explain your
Yeah.
season.
How have you felt the season's gone? I know you love talking about yourself, so go on. Here we go.
Yeah, and obviously it's been really enjoyable. Like from the first game out in Fremantle, 5,500, like just the atmosphere, taking nothing else into consideration, was just ridiculous.
And to beat the Eagles, of course.
And to beat West Coast in a derby first day out,
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've found, I guess, as you're going through it, you're still learning like so much. It's still, even though you've learned so much over the last 2 years not playing, once you get out there, it's still a completely different thing. So yeah, like definitely I've been growing and improving, I guess, week by week. At the start I was probably a bit taken by like the structures and trying to be too rigid almost in that, but
now
like
you're just playing footy.
now I'm just gonna
Play a bit of
I'm
footy.
like, I'll just have a
center
kick,
the
see what
center the
happens.
ball, kick around the corner.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's easy. And Driscoll mentioned it before that you actually work for the club. Unfortunately for you, you work with Mim over
The
there.
elephant in the room.
Look, she's still here, but just sitting back over there.
Yeah, I've had enough on yesterday, so I'm just taking it back.
They've had a-
Anya's actually
they've had a
Mim's
busy
boss.
day.
That's why Mim gets a bit, weird around Anya. You better not say the wrong thing in front of a boss lady.
I'm absolutely not Mim's boss.
Oh, take it.
Anya makes
around.
Mim run the Footprints little football coaching sessions at the schools that Anya doesn't want to go to, I heard.
I think if Anya was my boss, she would have fired me by now.
Oh, that's even better. What do you do? Explain what you do working at the club.
Yeah, so work with the community department upstairs. So basically just kind of games development, everything from schools to clubs, coaching, programs, Next Gen Academy. Yeah, just I guess giving kids in schools and in the community opportunities to get involved in footy and learn and
And if
improve.
I'm correct, you run all of it pretty much.
Yeah, she does.
You're the
I
big,
wouldn't-
so
I
you're
wouldn't
the
say
boss
that.
lady.
She's the
you
boss
are
lady.
the boss
Yeah,
lady.
yeah, just
I
take
know
it.
you're the boss lady.
Part of a team.
Yeah, okay.
But
you're the
that's
boss.
very cool.
You're the boss of the team.
She certainly bosses me around.
Oh.
Now I know we've talked
All right,
a lot
Peanut
about
Gallery.
we've talked a lot about Irish names. This is my part I wanted to put in here because they are so ridiculous.
gonna be good.
What the heck? We've already gone through a bunch of them.
Just
but
say the ones you haven't been through.
No, yeah, actually, there's 3 that we haven't gone through.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say the way I think it should be said.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me
Translate.
how it's supposed to be said. I am not even sure how we go with this one.
Siabahan.
No, we've already been that one. Okay, we can go from the top.
No,
okay.
no,
we
that's
haven't
different.
done
We haven't
Siabahan.
Siabahan.
We haven't done
We did
Siabahan.
Sinead,
Oh,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is the same here, Sinead.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the same.
Siabahan is
Oh, yeah.
Siobhan.
Siabahan, Siobhan. Niam.
Yeah.
Neve, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you reckon this next one? Say it in how it's spelled.
Kaomihi. Kaomihi. Kaomihi.
That's Quiva, right?
Oh, that is just ridiculous.
How is that quiver?
Caoimhe. That's not even English. You can't put an M and a H next to each other.
It's
Sorry.
not English, it's Irish.
Yeah, okay, sorry. It's Irish. What sound then does MH make if it's in all these bloody words?
V.
V. So that's why Neve and
Quiva.
Quiv. Yeah, Quiver.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
Okay.
MH is V.
Aisling.
Ashling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
H.
just put a
Poor,
SH.
yeah, poor Ashmack.
Put
Gets that a
Ashling,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she plays for-
at least we actually know how to
Yeah,
pronounce that.
plays
now,
for
but-
the Eagles. Good old Aisling McCarthy.
Ash.
Oh,
Oh,
poor
okay.
girl.
And
poor
so,
girl.
hang
There's
on.
another one
hang
for
on.
Collingwood,
There's
I
another
think.
one here.
There's another.
Yeah,
There's
Aisling
another
Sheridan,
Aisling.
yeah.
There's another Aisling at Collingwood.
There's.
Okay, go. Oh, try and say
This
this
is
one.
so stupid. So MH and BH both make V.
Hang on, don't
what's the
ruin
next
it.
one?
Say the one.
Me. B.
Me.
Me.
Yeah, Maeve.
See, then why is B? I'm going to take this up with the authorities. BH and MH, let's just keep it one thing. Why is there BH and why is there MH?
I don't know. I'll have to send that to a higher power.
Okay. Because there's nothing in
I think
English
it's just
is there
confusing
that is.
because the letters are the same, but the language is like
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what,
that's
so
fair.
in other like
Yeah, the letters are just little
like
symbols. That
yeah,
don't make
like
any
symbols
sense.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
then it's like doesn't have any crossover.
But I feel like here, would it confuse you like our theirs and stuff like like if the I's before the E or vice versa, that's still pronounced the same. So I guess that's similar in the
But I
sense
still
of
think, but
receive
see, Irish is weird because
There.
you do still
Yeah,
speak
Irish is weird.
English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like it's still English, but
I know.
not.
well,
Do you
nah.
have completely
Like,
different?
yeah, Irish,
Can you speak
the
Irish?
Irish language is completely
Okay.
different.
Okay,
some
speak
Irish.
a sentence.
Anya Tighe and Dom is Ascunda
That's so cool.
Can you say it again, but slower?
And what did it mean?
Yeah.
That's just my name. Anya Tighe is Dom. So Anya
Would
Tighe
you
is
ever
my
just
name.
go down the street and say that to someone?
Not over here.
No, not
Hayley
here, but,
Miller
like,
is my name.
would you actually speak in?
Will you go and say Emma O'Driscoll is my name? If anyone would like to know, you probably do.
You'd love it actually.
But do you would you speak more English?
No, we'd speak English as our.
Oh,
first
so you
language,
don't
yeah.
actually speak like that?
No, but we learn Irish all the
Yeah,
way through
sure.
school.
Okay,
And
sure.
Doesn't make
Yeah, they
sense if
teach
it's
us.
not even your. So there's
If it's not even
Irish,
your
but you
spoken
actually
language.
speak English.
It's but it's probably like the closest way I'd probably relate it to here would be like the indigenous language groups.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
that
that
makes
makes
There'd
sense.
still be areas of Ireland, Gaelic areas, where they'd speak Irish as their first
Sure.
language.
Ah, okay, that
Um,
makes
that
way more
does-
sense.
yeah, okay,
That
I understand
definitely
now.
makes sense.
There
But
go.
you speak, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
there
sense.
are, again, I guess, different accents, though, in different parts of Ireland as well. Like
Yes.
here, Melbourne people
Melbourne.
speak different to
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So
But I
that's,
can't notice that.
Do you not understand? Do you not hear?
But
that
you
when they say
notice it
Melbourne?
when in, like, would we be able to tell the difference
Yeah, see,
between
I don't know.
a north and a south?
You would be able to notice certain accents.
I
'Cause
wouldn't
certain
be able to-
accents are much more difficult to
So
understand.
you
than
wouldn't be
I
able to
am.
understand any of them
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
And you just speak faster when you're speaking to another
Yeah, I agree.
Irish person.
I agree.
Definitely.
I
100%.
feel like you
of
slow
that.
it down for us, and it's
Yeah.
really
100%.
nice. Because I can understand you now. I feel like when you
Oh.
first came over, I couldn't understand.
Because
you.
she's got way more Aussie. Sorry to your mum, but we have caught Anya saying a lot of the hell before
Yeah,
this.
I was
Hey,
gonna say,
it's hell
that's
hot.
sick. That's sick and hell.
Deadly.
Yeah.
So,
did
yeah,
I
I-
say that in Ireland?
No,
No,
see,
I was
I
going to
guess
say
so.
I
I've
have been-
noticed it a few times, and I'm like,
I have been
wonder
told
if
by
they say
Anya's
that.
mum, like, well, sorry,
That's an absolute lie.
sorry, no, Anya's mum has not contacted me. Just saying, but through Anya, she has told me that her mum's pet peeve now is her saying,
Nah, it's not. No, I'm like the girls at home will just rip into me.
saying
for
it's
saying,
hell
like,
hot. Oh, I'm hell tired.
Or when I said footy for the first time, because like we call it Gaelic or football.
Football, yeah.
So like I mentioned footy in an interview, and I got absolute. What is this footy you're talking about? Oh, my God.
That is too good.
Yeah, I get it from
So she's
all
Aussie.
sides. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're on for
Oh, quick fire. Okay, it's going to be real quick, Anya. Your favourite thing about, I'm going to say Perth, but Australia if you want.
I'm gonna say the beaches because they're wicked compared to what we have at home.
And WA is better than Melbourne.
Yes,
Just putting it out.
absolutely,
Yeah, cool.
100%.
Did
after
you
our
or
hub
did you not
experience.
get super burnt the first time you ever went to the beach here?
No,
Or was
that
it
was
Kate?
floody.
Yeah,
that was
like,
floody. Yeah.
Floody did
Yeah.
definitely.
I was going to say,
I
so
feel like you were put in the same category there.
the worst thing about Australia,
100%.
the
40-degree days. Actually, 30 anything degree days.
yeah, honestly, I've never been somewhere where it's 30 degrees.
Nah. Coops asked me one day, we were training, it was like 37 degrees. He was like, so like, how often would you get days like this? I was like, it doesn't happen. And he could not understand that. And it was only, I was like, it was only this year when we set a new high record for like the highest temperature in Ireland. It was like 32.6 degrees. I was like, see?
And that's one day.
That
Like,
was your
That's
highest of high.
That's highest ever. Yeah.
we get consecutive
Yeah.
40 degrees.
Yes. And I die.
That is so funny. No, you're definitely way more used to it now.
A little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, things you miss about Ireland.
Not including your family.
Yeah.
Obviously. Just like something something like trivial.
I think just the greenness.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
everything's
It's a bit
very
deserty,
green
yeah.
It is
at home,
deserty,
yeah,
right,
which
like-
is
It's a bit
always
hot.
nice. Yes,
That's why.
It's dry. It's dry. It's dry. Yeah.
Yeah, anything
That would
else?
be cool. The rolling green hills.
Yeah, hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's quite flat here as well, actually. Yeah.
Very flat.
And I still have
Flat
like a
and
year and a
dry.
half supply of
Boring.
tea bags that the fam have sent me, so I'm good on the old tea bags front.
I
good,
really
yeah.
did think for this one you might have said the chocolate because Anya has told me, I'm
Oh,
a chocolate
yes.
girl.
Yeah.
And apparently our chocolate our
Chocolate.
is bloody terrible
It's not the real thing, yeah.
because there's the ingredient in it to stop it from melting because of our 40-degree days.
It's too hot and dry and
Yeah,
flat.
because Cadbury is Irish, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is
I
it?
don't know. Well,
I
we
think
have
it
like
is.
our Cadbury at home. The chocolate we have at home definitely is not the same as what
Yeah,
you guys
okay.
have here. And it's definitely better at home. So.
Would you rather? Oh, this is. Oh, actually, okay. A check side or a drop punt?
Oh, depends where it was from.
reckon
actually
she'd
don't
choose
mind the check side,
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew it's going to be the answer.
Well, now that
don't
it's a
mind it.
thing.
Yeah.
Now that like everyone does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get not in
Yeah.
trouble. Like
No.
You're not going to singled out for doing it.
I'd probably
And
still try and kick around my body from the wrong side.
Yeah.
though.
It's fine.
Your-
Goes to number 6.
Stop cutting me off. Sorry. Your passive aggressive. Oh, I can't talk. Passive aggressive. I love my co-host Hayley Miller.
Thank you.
Okay, Anya. Last one. Your favorite goal celebration. You don't ever celebrate because you aren't allowed to in Gaelic, just like you're not allowed to get paid. So, what is it? Because you did do one on the weekend.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah. If I'm going, and I've done it a bit in Gaelic at home, like I'll do the one arm. Yeah.
But just
Why
to
is
yourself,
it?
like a
What is the? Why don't you celebrate?
Because it would be like the equivalent of us celebrating points. So we kick a point and everyone goes off celebrating and then the other team kicks it in and they're halfway down the field. I feel like captain wouldn't be very happy.
Oh, there's
Oh,
not.
because there's no.
Yeah,
you don't
centre.
go back to the middle,
Yeah.
so you don't have time to.
Nah.
Ah.
Now that is
My
that's
captain,
fair.
my captain would not be happy
No,
with you.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. See, well, there you go. That makes sense. All right,
Okay.
Mim,
All right,
you
my
can
one
speak.
job.
You may speak.
Okay.
Mim's mailbag.
We've had a massive uptake from the Irish for the questions. So I feel like this is going to be another game of guess the Irish name. But correct me if I'm wrong. And please don't make fun of me. I've seen people Anya show me her little group chat at home. Where
What's
people
got a
have
little
made fun
clover
of,
next to it?
they've actually made fun of her goal celebrations mostly. So I hope they don't. I hope I'm not in it this week. All right. Hessling, Ty.
Is it Hessling?
Yeah.
Say it.
What is it? Is that right?
That's not it. Yeah. Go on, just proceed.
That's not it. That's not it, but keep going.
Whose dog ate the remote?
Your dog.
Whose dog
Ah.
ate the remote?
I've no idea.
Heslin wants to
Who's
know.
Hessling? Is that
Mum.
Oh, is that your mum?
It's Mum.
Mum.
Mum, what are
Ma'am.
you doing? Mum, what are you doing?
Ma'am.
We can't keep pulling the
know.
piss out of the accent.
Yeah, we
I
can.
like it.
Mean.
I
Mum.
actually love accents so much. I'm frothy.
So I
but
think Mum is
seriously, whose dog
hinting,
ate the
hinting that
remote?
your dog must have eaten it.
I don't have a dog.
Oh, what do you get?
Okay.
Is that how you
Anyway.
say your mum's name? I feel bad now.
No.
Respect to your mum.
Mum's name is actually Helen, same as Mims, but that's
Oh.
her maiden name and then her married name. But yeah.
Okay, Helen.
That's Helen. Sorry,
just
Helen.
go with Helen.
Sorry, Helen.
We don't know.
No.
Helen.
Caroline
Doherty.
Doherty asks, would you have many cows at home? Anya asking for a friend.
Yes, tell Caroline we have several cows at home, just like herself. Yeah.
Now,
She
are we
definitely
talking about real cows? Like
Real cows.
Moo
Real
cows?
cows.
Moo cows?
Yes, I live in a farm, grew up in a farm. We have lots of animals.
So when I asked you, tell me about your family in history and stuff, you didn't even mention you lived on a farm.
Farm.
Sorry,
with
we live in a
cows.
farm.
With
Forgot about
cows.
that.
You forgot
What
about
else
the
do you have?
cows.
Yeah.
What
And
colour are the cows?
we actually have, Sinead, my sister, has some sheep now, and they had a couple of baby lambs. So they named them after their favourite players from the weekend. So JC got a lamb, Judy got a lamb.
so good.
And then Neve was like, oh, I feel like Miller was a bit stiff here. So you're probably going to be the
Miller,
next one.
Jason.
I need a lamb.
We
I
need
want a lamb.
a photo of these lambs.
Excuse me. I want a lamb. Are they having more?
It's like,
Because I want a
Baba,
lamb.
black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir,
Anyway.
yes, sir. 3 bags full.
See, 3 lambs.
Juddy,
Oh,
JC, and Miller. They're terrible
No, it's only
names
Juddy
for
and
lambs.
JC. I just need I need.
Well,
it
no,
to
they
have
were
one
the
more.
ones that obviously impressed them the most at the weekend. So
I reckon you could call. I reckon Miller's a nice name. I could actually
But
use
put
that
an
Miller.
A.
Yeah, with an A,
Like
but like
Miller.
Miller
Not
the
Miller.
lamb. That's
Miller.
fine. Miller.
there you go.
Miller.
Juddy could be a lamb.
There's JC and Judy.
I don't know about
Where's
JC.
Miller?
You can't call it Janelle, so let's go with JC.
You can't imagine Janelle. Janelle's not a sheep name.
That is the best.
Janelle's not a sheep name.
That is the best thing ever.
Anyway, that's great.
All right. Sinead, Ty, asks, did you once make your sister travel to Prague? Wait,
Yeah,
how do you
that
say
was
Prague?
Prague.
Yeah.
Barefoot because of your strict timekeeping.
What?
This was not me, but yes, that story did happen. No, she didn't go barefoot. What actually happened was,
How far is Prague?
probably less than bloody Melbourne from here. It's only a couple of hours on a flight.
But she has no shoes on.
No, she did have shoes. So we were going away for the weekend.
I don't go to Melbourne with no shoes on.
I'd been out the night before, so everyone was not in the best of shape trying to get to the airport. And I don't like being late for stuff. So I was trying to get them out on time. And I don't know where Sinead's shoes were. She forgot her shoes. She ended up wearing one of Neve, because Neve lived in Dublin at the time, so she ended up like borrowing Neve's housemate's runners. And Neve's housemate was meant to run the mini marathon the next day.
Stop
No.
it.
So she took her runners that she had like trained the whole year in, and she had to
No.
get new runners to run. Yeah. So we never
Oh,
let her live it
no.
down. So I don't know what she brought that up.
That
for.
is terrible.
She's stitched her
Sinead?
herself up there.
Bad.
Sinead.
That's terrible.
Jessie Dustin asks, what is your favourite food you can easily find in Australia that you can't find in Ireland?
Ooh.
Vegemite.
No, I hate Vegemite.
Everyone does.
Go home.
Can't do that.
Everyone does.
I like Promite over Vegemite.
Promite. What is Promite?
Promite's for pros.
What? Isn't that just a spin-off? Of
Get it on a
Vegemite?
poll. Get it on a poll. Everyone needs to try it. Vegemite versus
On a
Promite.
poll.
Promite's
On a
baby.
poll.
Oh, sorry. Don't actually go lick it off a poll.
Poll. P-O-L-E.
P-O-L-L. We're all into the spelling today. It's a spelling bee here. Don't go lick Vegemite and Promite off different polls. Let's get a poll, Poll, P-O-L-L on Instagram about Vegemite versus Promite. And if you haven't tried both, you need to.
Promite, isn't that just like a...
It's way better. No. Costs like $8.
Yeah, right.
It's way better.
Okay.
Sorry, Anya. Back to
Anyway,
you.
Mim, I'm going to go with Milo.
Oh, good one.
Got
Yeah.
one Milo train.
Yeah.
Can you not get Milo in Ireland at all?
Nah, it's not a thing.
Can you smuggle it back?
Probably.
Yeah, like anything, you could just take
Yeah.
it. Don't even have to smuggle it. Just take it in your, just put it in your luggage.
I can just imagine putting
Take
it in
a Tim
Ziploc
Tam.
bags and like, hiding it in my clothes.
Do you have Tim Tams in Ireland?
No, we don't have Tim Tams actually. Yeah.
That's one that people
Yeah.
always say.
Oh.
The old Tim Tam.
Tim Tam, Vegemite, Milo. Next
Alright.
one.
Vanessa asks, now that you're a few years in, what is the one thing you still find weird about Aussie rules?
Oh. Probably the singing the song. That's something we
Do you
don't
have,
do
oh, so you don't have songs
at home at all. No.
Do you have a song though?
Do you even have fun?
No, clearly not.
Somebody asked me this.
They got to
before,
run
nah.
all the time. They don't even get to take a mark and have a chill time. Play on all the time. You don't
Don't
even get to go
celebrate
back
goals.
to the centre. You don't even get time to
And
celebrate.
you don't get paid.
You don't get paid, and you don't celebrate after a win.
This
with a
is
song.
not. This doesn't sound fun.
Don't put me down for Gaelic.
I'm there for the song. Anyways, bloody hell.
Emil or Emo?
Emer.
Emer, yeah.
Emo?
Emer.
Brady asks, is it true you don't have to pay tack in Ireland because you're so tall?
Is that pay
What's
tax?
tax?
Tax.
Oh.
This is a story Neve decided to tell people because we get asked like, how tall are you? And oh my God, you're so tall all the
7
time.
foot.
Yeah, so her response was that, oh yeah, well, we're actually classified as giants in Ireland, so it means we don't have to pay tax.
I bet people would actually believe
Oh,
that.
people would actually
Oh
believe
my
it, yeah.
God.
Are you very tall as Irish standards?
Uh,
How tall are Irish people? They're just like normal.
pretty stock standard.
Yeah.
All right, Jazz Dancer asks, what was the feeling before your first game? And to clear things up, Driscoll, her name is Jazz.
There you go. So it's not the type of dance. Her name is Jazz.
There you go.
Perfect.
She's probably a dancer, but her name is Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good putting two and two together. Good. Good.
Anyway,
Feeling before my first game, I was probably a bit nervous the day before, but I think the day of, I was like just calm. And once you get to the change rooms, it's kind of normally quite calm. But yeah, just excited, I think. Ready to
All
go.
right, last one. Brando asks, how does it feel to be playing in a preliminary final with the girls?
Yeah, very good. Very excited. The whole finals thing kind of throws me out because I had this conversation.
Oh, we
with
did
you
have this
during the week.
conversation.
I was like, I feel like everyone gets really excited by the finals, whereas at home we're just kind of like, you play your games and then you have a semi-final. If you get to like a final, that's when.
so the
Like,
grand
it's only the
final's
grand final they get
only one
excited
that's
about.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
kind
what
of.
you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just like, yeah, next game, tick it off.
Yeah, but if you
Well,
don't
that's
get through
okay.
though,
Yeah, then that's disappointing.
It's just.
so then you've got to celebrate the wins.
That's just
That's
disappointing.
we did have
true,
this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. But now, yeah, really looking forward to the prelim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mim.
Let's go.
I guess
Fantastic.
that segues
Great.
into the end of our podcast.
Yeah, great to have you here. But yeah, leads nicely into a bit of a preview of the prelim final. Anya said how she's feeling. How are you feeling, Driscoll?
Yeah, I'm pumped. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Fly me to Adelaide tomorrow. Because I'm unemployed and I'll spend a week there. I don't care.
I will go and prepare 2 weeks in advance.
Nah, I would have loved to have just played this weekend. You know, I've got momentum, pumped about it. Body's feeling good. Body, mind and soul is all good. So let me go and play. But obviously with the COVID scenario in Collingwood, they'll play this weekend and then we'll play the following weekend, which I think is still really exciting. It gives us a week to kind of recover and then really prepare well. Prepare well.
We got a week. Obviously, you said week off this week. So who knows if we're going to have a podcast next week? Don't know.
We will.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
we'll figure
catching
that out.
up. Like,
Yeah, we got to. We did miss a few.
yeah.
But thank you, Anya, for being on our podcast. Was it that bad?
Nah, thoroughly enjoyable
See, it was
experience.
good.
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed
great.
it. That was one of my favourites, I reckon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was good. It flowed well and it was funny. Irish people are funny. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. As always, I'll leave you with Driscoll to finish the pod with an inspiring quote that she's hopefully pre-prepared.
I have, but now I'm thinking about it. I probably should have got an Irish quote. Anya, can you say this next quote in Irish?
Oh, probably not. Well, how good is my Irish?
To the old, long life and treasure. To the young, all health and pleasure. What a pearler!